This is 7 National News. In our top story, the UAE President, His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, has issued Federal Law No. 3 of 2016 on children's rights, also known as Wadima's Law. According to Article 2 of the law, competent authorities and stakeholders must act to preserve the children's right to life, survival and development, and protect the child from all forms of neglect, exploitation and abuse, as well as from physical and psychological violence. They must also be brought up learning to adhere and respect their Islamic faith and national identity. The authorities and stakeholders are also required to raise awareness of children's rights and obligations. The law was published in the Official Gazette and will enter into effect 3 months from its issuance. The UAE is viewed as a model country that is economically secure and is the most favoured nation to live in and set up a business, according to the findings of the 8th annual Asda Burson Marstella Arab Youth Survey. At a press briefing today announcing details of the survey titled Inside the Hearts and Minds of Arab Youth, it was revealed that 22% of young Arabs, who represent nearly 60% of the 200 million youth population in the region, view the UAE for the 5th year in a row as the top country to live in, followed by countries such as the United States and Germany. When asked about which country in the world, if any, they would most like their country to emulate, the survey found that 23% of young Arabs view the UAE as a role model, followed by the United States, Germany and France. Representatives at today's conference stressed that the strength of the UAE's image among Arab youth stems primarily from the perception that the UAE is a safe and secure country that offers economic opportunities. In their findings, 36% of those surveyed highlighted safety and security as their top priority, followed by factors such as economic growth and work opportunities, which represented 29% each.
We talk to young Arab men and women in the age group of 18 to 24. So these are what called Generation Z or the millennials. This is the largest young part of the world. And for governments, this is the voice of citizenry. And that's what the most important part of this survey, that this brings the voice of people onto governments so governments can tackle the young people's hopes, fears and aspirations. So they can make policies that actually bring about change in the communities that they serve. When you look at the survey, when we ask people about their top concerns, safety and security came as a top concern. In fact, an expression that their top concern is the growing influence of, in certain parts of the region, of Daesh. That is their top concern. But further down, number 3 is unemployment. So when you look at it, the 2 top concerns that young people have is safety and security, and that there should be opportunity for them.
As 7 of the 16 Arab countries included in the survey are OPEC nations, findings of the report revealed that 80% of Arab youth are increasingly concerned about falling oil prices. But most still believe that they are entitled to subsidized energy, and the ratio was particularly high among young Arabs living in the OPEC member states. Other findings also highlighted that 2 in 3 young Arabs is of the opinion that their leaders should do more to improve on personal freedom, while also focus on advancing the rights of citizens in general and women in particular. The Arab Youth Survey was conducted between the 11th of January to the 22nd of February this year, involving 3,500 face-to-face interviews with those 18 to 24 years of age.
We see a great, typically in many different places, people are using either telephone interviews or they're doing internet-based interviews. And what we're seeing here is a fairly wide difference of utilization, particularly of the internet, between countries. So in order to make sure we get a fair representation in all countries, we felt that face-to-face interviews and one-on-ones was the best way to make sure we got to the most representative set of respondents. If we did online interviews, obviously we would only be talking to people who have internet access.
The General Directorate of Residency and Foreigners Affairs in Dubai has revised the validity period for the 96-hour transit visa. According to local reports, the visa is now valid for entry for 14 days from the issuance date, while the validity for GCC residence visa is 30 days from the issuance date. Previously, the time given to both the categories was 60 days. Transit passengers, however, can still obtain a 96-hour visa at UAE airports, irrespective of the airlines they are flying in. Passengers arriving at airports through any international airline can apply for these visas if they meet certain conditions, including that there is a duration of less than 8 hours between the two trips. There should also be to 2 different destinations, and a hotel booking is mandatory. A 96-hour transit visa is for a 4-day stay, with the first day of arrival until midnight being considered as day 1. The exit has to be completed before midnight on the 4th day. The majority of UAE residents want their employer or the government to pay for their healthcare expenses, according to the findings of a new report released by HSBC. The Power of Protection report revealed that about 62% of people surveyed in the UAE think that someone else should pay for their personal health care, while the global average was 57%. In the UAE, among those who think healthcare expenses should be paid for by someone else, 27% said it was their family's responsibility, 21% said the employer should pay, and 14% said it was the responsibility of the government to shoulder the costs. The sentiment was higher in developing countries such as China at 71%, Argentina at 65%, and Indonesia at 64%, while those more mature markets like the US at 45% are less likely to exhibit the attitude. The report surveyed 11,000 people over 25 years in 12 countries, taking in about 1,400 in the UAE. Dubai made it mandatory for companies to provide health insurance for employees starting from 2014, while Abu Dhabi implemented the policy in 2006. Although it is mandatory, employers are not required to provide health insurance for all of the employees' dependents. And according to the authors of the survey, the mandatory insurance requirements provide a basic level of coverage, which may not protect people in a comprehensive way as other health insurance policies may. His Excellency Sheikh Nahyan bin Mubarak Al Nahyan, the UAE Minister of Culture and Knowledge Development, presented the Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak Awards for Excellence to 37 girls from GEMS education schools across the UAE. According to representatives, the awards were launched by GEMS Education in 2005 to honour the mother of the nation, Her Highness Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak, for her contributions to the empowerment of women in the UAE and her support for excellence in all areas. Sir Christopher Stone, the Chief Education Officer of GEMS Education in the region, stated that this year's winners have shown their commitment to achieve academically, at the same time demonstrating those skills, attributes and actions associated with active global citizens and leadership.
It signals that we're taking girls' education incredibly seriously and that we want to actually acknowledge excellence in all its fields. And there are so many young women here who are encouraged by this government and this region to do incredible things. They can do just about anything they want to do. And these awards go some way towards that recognition. The important thing for children is that they all have talents, and their talents are different and varied, and that we recognise those. But they're all children are treated as an individual. But sometimes, just sometimes, there are 1 or 2 children who have this sort of type of excellence, and they're rewarded in this way. But other children can be team players, they can be recognised for their sporting achievements, their musical efforts, they can be doing so many other things. And they must be, our job is to ensure that the school merges and adapts to fit their needs, and that we recognise and fulfil that potential fully for all of our children.
Nominated by their schools for their outstanding academic success, commitment to social responsibility and global citizenship, the winners were each presented with a scholarship covering a year's tuition fees at their respective GEMS school. Some of the criteria used to select the winners included topping their streams in examinations, winning academic awards, holding roles as head girls, recognitions in debates, as well as a wide variety of environmental initiatives that they organised.
This award, the Sheikha Fatima Award for Excellence, is awarded to an exceptional woman, a woman who has been a global citizen, who's shown traits of being a global citizen, who's had excellence in the environment and in extracurricular activities. I think that I won this award because the passion that I have displayed in every activity, in every extracurricular activity that I've been in my school and in the community. Probably that is the reason why I'm here today. And I would definitely be very thankful to my parents and my school for giving me the opportunity and the exposure to go to different countries and to be, even within the UAE, in the community, to be able to make a difference to others.
I think the most important thing to be yourself is because like if you pretend you're not like someone you're not, it's not the true you. And to be someone that you are yourself, it's one of the hardest things to be, especially in society now where you are forced to be something more than you expect to be. And it's very, very hard. When I was in Cambodia, we did community service work there. And I got to see all more than just this this perfect life that we have here. I got to see the hardships, and we had to work with the children there. And one of the few things that I learned there was that we should be like thankful for what we have here, and that we get such a great education. And for girls who are aspiring to be excellent, just study and be yourself and learn from your mistakes is one of the most important things.
Within my school, I helped start the very first Key Club in the United Arab Emirates. We do a lot of volunteer work, and one of our main projects is Operation Smile, which helps to raise awareness and money for kids with cleft lips. So I feel like it's definitely good for girls to get out there and like start to just be aware of all the global issues that are happening, as well as to get involved as much as possible.
And finally in the bulletin, Urban Pixels, a platform for hobbyists and amateur photographers in the region, honoured the top 4 entries at an awards ceremony held at City Walk last night in Dubai. Organised collaboratively by the 3 urban outdoor destinations of Maras, City Walk, The Beach and Box Park, the 6-week-long Urban Pixels competition invited photographers to submit creative snapshots captured across the 3 properties. The contest drew around 1,300 entries that were then evaluated for excellence of composition and the quality of the images. The winners walked away with various prizes, including Samsung S7 phones and 360 cams. Hosted as part of Dubai Art Season in association with Dubai Culture and Arts Authority, the Urban Pixels judging panel featured prominent industry personalities, including Sheikha Latifa bint Maktoum, the director of Tashkil. Additionally, the 30 best images from the total number of entries received will be displayed for the public viewing at City Walk next to Real Cinema till the 23rd of April from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m.
We were on a family outing to City Walk, just a normal Friday evening. We saw the Samsung booth where they said, "Why don't you take a picture? You might win something." So I took this picture because the story behind it is I was in a competition with my mom, and we were trying to take a better picture. So my mom took a picture like this, but it was from far, and it had all different types of problems in it. So I said I could take a better picture, and so this picture was formed. Winning the competition was, first of all, it was amazing. Second, winning this competition proved to me that even though I'm not a professional, I can still compete against people. And I've seen the other pictures here. Some of them are brilliant, like that first place winning and the second runner-up. So the brilliant pictures. So to be able to compete against professionals like that, even though I'm just starting out, is a wonderful feeling.
This winning actually means to me a lot, because just recently I joined the photography world, let's say, and such a winning give me a push to go for more and more.